G'day friends, my name is Franny. Welcome to Considered Body. This is your upper body and core focus strength workout. Now you're going to need a mat or some space on the floor that's a little padded and allows you to grip. You're going to need 2 sets or 2 options with your weights today. Something that's at your lighter end of mid-range. I've got my 2 4-kilo dumbbells and then a single heavier weight. I'm working with 1 7-kilo dumbbell. Set yourself up with what you've got and know that what's more important than anything else is honoring postural integrity. So rather than getting as many reps in as you can with the weight you have, if you feel your form starting to go, I want you to stop where you're at and take a break. So, take this at your own pace, listen to your body, you know it best, and let's work hard and have fun. Diving right in, come and meet me on your back. We start activating our core in a dead bug. So the back of your hips are heavy, your shoulder blades are anchored and wide, and your skull is resting against the ground. There's a subtle sway in the small of your low back. Float both knees to tabletop, reach your arms in front of your chest, anchor your front rib cage and find an engagement of your low abs. As you breathe in, start to extend your right arm, your left leg, reaching it away. And then as you exhale, bring everything back to starting position, stacking over hips and shoulders. Opposite side. Inhale, lengthen left arm, right leg. And then exhale, pull back to stack. Keep going with your breath. Inhale to extend. Exhale to pull. So you can choose how far your limbs reach away. What we want to maintain is the position of our spine resting on the ground. Your front body, your abdominal wall is engaged. It's not a sucking in, but affirming and wrapping a full 360, front, back, and side to side. Now you have the option here to keep extending opposite limbs, working one side and then the other. Or if you would like to increase the load and increase the challenge, find a bookend. So both arms, both legs reach, and then exhale, pull. Inhale, reach, feel the load, honor your spine, brace your core, and then exhale, pull. You've just doubled the amount of resistance if you'd added on the both limbs. If you feel it's too much, if you feel your spine starting to arch away from the ground, come back to our first variation. Or you could just play with the degree that your limbs are reaching. Wow. Now you have the option to keep moving through the large range of motion, or you can find an isometric hold. Next time your arms reach, hold it there. Don't think about your toes, your fingers, but think about what's at your center. Draw your pubic bone towards your navel. Draw your bottom ribs towards your frontal hips. Keep your spine exactly where it is. Take one more big breath. And then as you exhale, hug everything in towards your center. Roll over to one side or rock and roll down the length, up and down the length of your spine. We're going to meet in an all fours with your light to mid-range weights in your hands. Hands beneath your shoulders, knees beneath your hips. We're going to alternate a row from side to side. Take a breath in to prepare, engaging your front, side, and back body. And then as you exhale, pull your right elbow down and in towards your right hip. Inhale as you set your right hand or your weight back down directly beneath your shoulder. And then exhale, pull left elbow towards left hip. Inhale, lower. Exhale, pull. Now, even though we're on our knees, I want you to imagine you're holding a plank here. So you're bracing through your abdominal wall, preparing for a punch or a push. Really strong as you can be. Protecting your spine, resisting load. We pull our elbow down and towards our hip. It's not necessarily about taking it high or past us. So we can get as much engagement as we can from our lats. These big angel wing muscles that run from our upper arm bone down the width and breadth of our back, attaching to our pelvis. This is preparing us for where we're going. We're pulling to support our pushing. Take one more on each side. Shoulders and hips staying level and square. And then from here, we're going to come into a standing position. So bring your weights with you, step forward, and then find an incline of your spine. Pull your hip creases back, soft bend in your knees, and your arms reach in front of your chest. We have a reverse fly. Before you start to move, I want you to actively anchor your shoulder blades wide and down your back, and find this little lift across your collarbones through the center of your chest. Low belly's engaged, just like where we were in our all fours row. As you inhale, prepare. And then as you exhale, fly your arms wide and out to the side. It's not about coming high, but creating as much contraction as you can in between the muscles of your shoulder blades. Inhale as you lower. Exhale as you fly. Every time you lift your arms, I want you to bring your awareness back to your shoulders, back to your scapula. Keep them pulling down and wide. We are strengthening our postural muscles here, our lower and middle traps, our rhomboids, our pulling muscles that help reverse so much of the flexion, the slouching, the rounded posture we can often find ourselves in while we're sitting. We just have two more. And we're going to step our left leg back into a half kneeling position. This is your last one. Lowering with control. And then step your left leg back, set your left knee down, right knee stacks over your ankle, and then float your elbows to a cactus position. They're wide and in your peripheral vision. As you breathe in, start to rotate, lowering your forearm parallel to the ground, no lower. And then exhale, bring your wrists to stack perpendicular to your elbows. Let's go. Lower. Exhale, lift. What we're doing here is we're strengthening our external rotation muscles. This is going to support us, again, with our pushing. We've got push-ups coming in our superset after this. Now, right away, I want you to notice what that brings up for you. And know that I'm going to support you with options. We get better at what we practice, whether that's push-ups or whether that's our mindset. Let's take one more, and then we're going to come back to our reverse fly. Nice job. Slowly lower your weights down. Return to your standing position. Feet beneath your hips and parallel. Pull your hip creases back, keeping your knees bent. Elongate your spine. Anchor your scapula, widen down your back. Inhale to prepare. And then use your exhale to open wide, pulling your shoulder blades into your spine. Inhale, lower. Exhale, fly. Neck stays long. Minimal movement through your body here. We're not bouncing, we're not bopping, we're not using momentum to initiate the load, to initiate the lift, pardon me, but rather the contraction of the muscles. And notice they might start to fatigue, that's okay. Take a moment, pause, stand up, shake it out. Or maybe that's enough of this movement for today. Listen to your body and use your best judgment. We just have a few more. Let's do two. And then we're going to step our right leg back for our external rotation. Okay, right knee drops down to the ground right below your hip. Left knee stacks over your ankle. Once again, bring your elbows to cactus. You can see them in your peripheral vision. Wrist stacks right on top. Take your inhale as you start to rotate your shoulder in its socket, lowering your forearms down to the ground. Keep your elbows parallel and level with your scapula. And then exhale as you lift back up. Notice what's happening in your core in this moment. Can you squeeze your glutes on? Can you lift your pelvic floor? Bracing through your abdomen, using these foundations to help create that little bit more stability and control in what's on top. Next day is long. I know this is hard work, but it's productive work. And just like in your reverse fly, if you feel your elbows starting to drop, your shoulders starting to shrug, take a break, come on out of it, reset. This is your last two. Breathing fully and deeply, this is your last one. Nice job. Set your light to mid-range weights down towards the back edge of your mat. Take a little moment, you can stay on your knees, give your shoulders a shrug and a roll. And we're heading into a plank position. So bring your hands down beneath your shoulders, slightly wider than your chest. Step your feet back into a high plank and hold. Put a soft bend in your knees, a soft bend at the eyes of your elbows. You can take this to a higher surface, the back of a chair, you can take it to a wall. Now you can hold your plank here, or you have the option to layer in some push-ups. My target repetition for right here and right now is 3. So if you're taking that push-up, bend your elbows 45 degrees away from your body, keep gripping the floor with your palms, squeeze your butt, brace your belly, and then press back up to your starting position. So even if you're lowering down to the floor, you hold that plank. Head, hips, heels, one straight line, lower down, and then push, protecting yourself as you lift away from the ground. One more, or you have the option to keep on going. You have the option to hold your plank. Feel where you are in space. Feel what's working. This is a full body contraction. Anchor your shoulder blades, squeeze beneath your armpits, lift your quads away from your knees. Take one more breath in. And then as you breathe out, step your right foot forward. Pick up your single heavier weight for a bent over row. Now step your back foot in, incline your spine forward, and then reach your left arm down towards the ground. It's beneath your shoulder, directly beneath your shoulder. Pull your right hip crease back. So it doesn't need to be a full crescent lunge for this position, but rather a stable staggered stance. Inhale at the bottom. And then as you exhale, just like in our all fours, pull your elbow down and in towards your hip. Big squeeze of your lat. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull. Continue. There is no rotation of your spine as you perform this movement. Your hips stay square, your shoulders stay square. There might be this little hang, this little pull beneath your scapula at the bottom, underneath the load. But then you want to re-engage, anchoring it onto your body and squeezing it down your back as you pull. Breathing slow and smooth, and then mirroring that motion with your movement. There's nothing jerky, there's no momentum. And we're not letting the weight fall, but rather lowering it with control. Take 2 more, and then we're coming back down into our plank. This is your last one. All right, and then safely with bent knees, set your weight down, pop it to the opposite side. Hands beneath shoulders, feet step back, heels reach, softness in your joints, and then hold. Grip the ground beneath your hands. Lengthen your tailbone towards your heels, and then find this pulling up of your pelvic floor, feeling the engagement behind your navel space. Now you can stay here, hold your plank, feel the full body engagement, or again, you have the option to layer in some push-ups. You've got about 20 seconds. I'm going to go for 2. Elbows track 45 degrees away from your body. Spine stays long. Imagine an arrowhead from bird's eye view. And then big push. Press yourself away. Keep breathing. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Step your left leg forward this time. Find your staggered stance, whether it's more squat-like, whether it's more lunge-like. Find what works for you. Square off your hips, incline your spine forward, extend your right arm down towards the ground directly beneath your shoulder. Pull your left hip crease back, inhale as you prepare, and then exhale, pull your right elbow towards your right hip. Inhale, reach, exhale, pull. No rotation. Resist the twist as you pull. Keep coming back to the muscles at the upper back, middle back, lower back. Regularly checking in with those 3 spaces. Working the back side of our body, in particular our lats. Big squeeze at the top. Maybe you pause there just to emphasize the contraction. Do not let your chest round over your forward knee. Keep that lift across your heart, your collarbones. Now we have one more round in our plank or our push-up. Take 2 more reps. We're not here for quite as long. We have 60 seconds. No, we don't. We've got 45. All right, let's do this. Safely set your weight down, hands to the ground, feet step back, hold. Feel what's working. Feel what's supporting you. Unclench your jaw. Soften the eyes of your elbows, your knees. Lift your quads, squeeze your bum. And then feel the strength of your chest. Feel the strength of your lats. I'm going to take 1 more push-up. I encourage you to go to your edge and explore for 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, we're coming down onto the ground. 1. Drop your knees, and then however it serves you to get there, lie down onto your back. Once again, we're gonna reach for our mid-range set of weights. Bring 1 into each hand, bend your knees, walk your heels in towards your hips, and just set them down there. With your arms in front of your chest, we're going to find a floor pull. So as you inhale, start to extend your arms overhead towards the ground, knowing that they don't need to touch, they don't even need to get close. And then as you exhale, big pull beneath your armpits, lift your weights to the starting position. Keep on going. So extend, feel the load, keep your ribcage down, keep your low abdomen engaged, and then exhale, bring your weights back in front of your chest. Not letting the position of your spine change, maintaining neutral, all the way from your tailbone to your neck, your cervical spine. Again, we're working our lats, but as well our serratus anterior muscles, the ones that were just working so hard for us in our push-up. We're showing them that little bit more love, that little bit more attention here. Keep it going. Take 1 more, and then we're gonna find a chest fly. Keeping your lower body, your trunk exactly as it is, weights in front of your chest. As you inhale, start to open your arms towards a T, but keep a soft bend in your elbows. Again, they do not need to touch the ground. And then as you exhale, like you're closing a book, bring your weights back to touch in front of your chest. Nice and slow, lower with control. Feel the load across your chest, across your armpits, and then contract that space, pulling everything back in towards your center line. Inhale as you open wide. Exhale as you pull to close. Notice what's happening in your feet, in the backs of your hips. If one side is taking over or is that little bit stronger, not judging or criticizing or giving yourself a hard time, but rather patting yourself on the back for noticing. So often we blind these things out. We've got 1 more round of our floor pull. As you complete this fly, bring the weights to touch. Inhale as you start to extend your arms up and overhead. And then exhale, bring your weights back to their starting position. Not letting your shoulders creep up towards your ears. Keep readjusting as you need. Anchoring your scapula down so they're flat against the mat. The back of your hips stay heavy. The back lower ribs stay anchored. You can pause in your fullest extension, feeling the load, notice where it lives, and then how you need to contract in that space to lift back up to the beginning. Coming back to your breath, its rhythm and flow, mirroring your movement with your inhale and your exhale to find this steadiness, to find this sense of ease, even while we're creating this productive stress in our bodies. Take one more, and then we finish with our fly. You're on the home stretch, nice job. Inhale, start to separate your weight slowly, open wide, keeping the bend in the eyes of your elbows. Feel that loaded stretch at the bottom. And then as you exhale, big press come through center, squeezing your muscles even as you open and lower. Squeezing your muscles, that powerful pull to contract. For your last 30 seconds, if you'd like to make this that little bit more challenging, you can float your knees to tabletop. See how that shifts the intensity, the sensation, without the stability of your feet on the ground. If it doesn't work, set them right back down. Closing your eyes, going inwards, digging deep for the last 10 seconds. You can do this. Big deep breaths. One more repetition after this. And we're going to stretch it out. Nice job. Lift up safely. Set your weights down and out of the way. Give yourself a little hug as you rock from side to side. And then however it serves you to get there, we're going to come on up. Roll on over to your all fours position once again. Hands beneath your shoulders, knees beneath your hips. Let's move the spine through cat and cow. So as you inhale, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, pull your chest through, anchoring your shoulder blades down your back, feeling the contraction in your rhomboids and your lower and middle traps. And then exhale, reverse the shape, tailbone towards backs of your knees, chin towards your chest. Feel your shoulder blades spread across your back. Get spacious through your lumbar region. Maybe you rock forward and back just a little. And then keep on moving from A to B. Noticing not just the end points, but everything in between. And you can just keep going with cat-cow, or maybe you find something that's a little bit more organic to you, listening to your body. Call and respond. A little twisting, a little zigzag, maybe barrel rolls. What do you need? Just go there. And then making sure that you have space either side of the top edge of your mat. When you're ready, start to come all the way down onto your belly for a chest stretch. We worked it so much in the last 20 minutes or so. Extend your left arm out to the side in a T or a cactus, and then pressing down through your right palm in line with your right chest, start to roll up and over onto your left side. Setting your head down, maybe your left leg acts like a little kickstand. You might notice some feedback from your spine, in addition to the feedback from the front of your left shoulder and your left chest. Letting your breath act like a balm here, helping to find this sense of ease and calm, even in what's uncomfortable or intense. When you're ready, start to roll back through center and then switch sides. Left hand in towards left chest, right arm out to a T or a cactus. Roll on up and over onto your right side. Maybe a few pops and clicks from your spine. As you breathe into the space of your right side chest, shoulder, and upper back. With every breath, can you just give yourself this gentle reminder to soften, 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 knowing that we're not here for very long. One more breath in, one more breath out. Rolling back through center onto your belly, pulling your right hand in, and then pressing yourself up into any upright seated position. Big shrug and roll of your shoulders in one direction, big shrug and roll in the opposite, and then just a few circular side to side 360s with your head and your neck. Nice job, you made it. And then find a neutral stacking of your spine as you come through center, closing down the eyes if you feel called to do so. Dropping in and just feeling, noticing the temperature of your body, maybe the subtle flow of energy, maybe the beat of your heart, texture of your breath, and the quality of your mind. And then I encourage you to plant this little positive seed somewhere in your body. This appreciation for everything your body does for you, everything that led you to this point, and everywhere it will take you from here. We'll seal our practice with one last breath together. Big inhale, stretch your arms outwards, upwards, wide, palms come to touch. And then exhale, pull them down to your heart, bow into that space. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been a pleasure. I hope to see you again soon.